They're trying to tell us something. They have figured out the formula for chaos.
When the clock strikes 8:30, babe, time to head for Chris's house.
Hey.
Will the song make it to the next round?
Oh no.
Pot of thunder. Let's pot tonight. Come on, baby, let's pot tonight.
Woo! 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 Thank you, Doc Gibbs and the Emerald Live Band for warming us up today. That's right. You found it. Welcome to Pot of Thunder, the recognized symbol of excellence in rock and roll podcasting, brought to you by Blue Microphones. They look great. They sound even better. And you know me.
Hit the button now, say Andy, Andy. Choose a song, don't take long, come on, Andy. He hit 500 and it feels alright now. I said slow down now, but don't stop, Andy. Don't stop, and I say yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. 'Cause 500 feels so good, and it feels alright. Come on, alright, alright, and it feels alright. I say yeah, 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 yeah.
Woo!
Jeez.
Sometimes you need a long
The
clip.
whole thing, man.
That's a hell of a production there.
That one took longer than the others.
That's like pretty much, you might as well just done the whole song at that point. He did everything.
Probably should
At
have.
least once.
Did you molest the keyboard player while that was happening?
No.
In true Billy Idol fashion.
That's one of the greatest videos. I hope that comes up one of these days.
Is there only a live version of that for Billy?
For the video?
The video, I think
Video's
so.
live
It's the only one I've
okay,
seen.
but he
yeah.
has a studio version of the song.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
The live one was
But I was
better.
going to say the video.
The live one is the quintessential version.
Okay, I gotcha.
Well, I don't know about that, but visually, it's you see him molesting a member of his band on stage.
Was the 80s.
It was a different time.
That's what you did in music videos.
It was allowed back then, right?
A lot of molestation.
Yeah, his version came out very early in his career and was like a big hit in clubs, and then the video came out with the Vital Idol greatest hits package, I believe.
That makes sense. You wanted to give it another push, but you had to do something different, so do it live, right? There you go. All right. Well, thank you for that, Nick. That was a hell of a production. I'm going to have to listen to that again.
That was a listener suggestion, too, I believe, from Colleen Houston. Sent that along that suggested we do that song. And
very good.
Nick, of course, took it way over the finish line, above and beyond.
Well, thank you, Colleen, for the suggestion. Thank you, Nick, for going above and beyond. Guitar work, excellent. Everything, vocals, outstanding. Couldn't be better. Well, that's what we thought until now. Yes. Oh, get dancing this way across the podcast studio. Nick Pollock has entered the program. And good evening to Nicholas.
Good evening, everyone.
How you doing, Nick?
I'm all right.
Yeah?
I wasn't, but I am now.
You weren't. What happened?
I had a health
right.
A health event.
Right.
A health event.
Health event.
Health event I've endured. You haven't had one of those yet, have you?
No, but I'm sure it's coming. Not looking forward to it.
I don't. I'm running out of people I know who haven't had a kidney stone.
Sounds very unpleasant.
The pain is as advertised. I've said that before. I stick to it.
The nurse told
Devastating.
me. The nurse said, as bad, if not worse than childbirth.
Should she had done both? Or?
Well, I don't know, but this is what she told me.
Wow.
I'm just gonna
That's intense.
take her word for it.
So when you're in that intense pain, and then once you're in the hospital, they're able to give you some kind of morphine or something.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that helps.
That stuff
instantly.
is.
Yeah, you don't just gut out that level of pain.
You don't do it naturally.
No, that's
Sometimes
that's
you can't.
Do you? Can you do a home passing where you get in the tub?
You get a doula.
Yeah.
You have to ever burn some what is that? Some sage and go around you in circles while you submerge yourself in water and squat,
and then you go to the hospital the next day.
and then do it the right way after you're almost killed yourself with pain.
Of course, you have to be working with a midstone at that point. Some idiot overseeing the process who has no credentials whatsoever.
Yeah, if it goes sideways, they just run.
Yeah.
You can hire a wet passer.
Right.
These are some side hustles for us, I think.
I think so. We can invent these professions.
God knows there's no other way to get ahead in this damn world at this point.
Yeah. But yeah, back to the morphine. I mean, you got to have it, and the pain went from off the chart to 0 in about 5 seconds.
But were you as messed up from it as I was from the morphine? Where it felt like slow motion, and even picking up my phone to answer it or text somebody was a chore. It was weird.
Well, did your wife tell you that you seem to be moving slow, or was it just in your mind?
I think it was just in my mind.
So your motor skills weren't inhibited, but your perception of everything
was a
interesting.
little off. Like it wasn't literally like slow motion, but I felt like I felt a little bit behind, like my neurons were firing the same rate, but
I got to get me some of that, man.
Don't
be careful. Yeah, I don't remember that, but I do remember being literally scared at how fast it took effect.
Yeah,
it's
in
nice
fact,
to know.
I believe I said to the nurse, "You've just killed Chris Lathrop of Pot of Thunder." In my best deadpan Nikki Sixx voice, and
he saw people crying.
I did
in
from
the hospital,
above. I'm watching this from above.
Yeah, that's it was.
Yeah,
they try, and I don't know about you, but they tried a couple other things first.
No,
they give you a Flintstone vitamin. What do they do first?
One of them came right back out. I won't get into detail, but didn't have time to take effect.
No, I was on the floor, so they went straight for the
Came
big
back
M.
out.
They nearly shot Chris. The shape he was in.
Yeah, I said to the nurse, I said, "Hey, go ahead, fix me."
Yeah,
you know.
They brought out the horse who breaks his ankle tent at the Def Leppard concert and put it over Chris.
Pretty much.
They're gonna shoot you right on the lawn at the Def Leppard
thank God
concert.
It didn't really kick in. I mean, it started to kick in at that concert, but thank God it didn't KO me there, because that would have been a nightmare.
To not be home. Were you home too? Were you at home, Nick?
I was watching the Bee Gees documentary.
Okay. Well, I mean, it sounds like unimaginable pain, but I feel like being at home is much better than being out and having to drive. Because
there's an anxiety if you're out, I think, that's attached to it. I was at home just kind of watching TV on the couch. Rich recommended I got to see the Bee Gees documentary. So
I recommended it too.
And you too, yeah.
Yeah.
And Rich recently reiterated, and I have a clip of when it happened. I don't know.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
While you were watching the Bee Gees documentary?
While I was watching it, and I had to use the restroom.
Okay, let's
brought a clip.
Let's play this.
Even in the throes of pain, he has the wherewithal to run a tape machine to capture that.
It's always going.
Ever the professional.
Look at you, Nick.
Well, and then when I was driving there...
you drove yourself?
I drove, yeah.
Middle
of the night.
I was not capable of that. No way.
I wasn't sure what it was, so I started driving. And I went and got gas and just kind of like, am I going to feel any better?
You stopped at Walt.
I was right down the street, actually.
Yeah. Got a cream horn.
He still felt the need to peruse the ginger ale offerings.
Yeah.
And there were a couple stragglers from Dark Lord Day, even at that hour of night, that long. And I had the tape running
again. Oh, let's hear what they said.
Hell no! Trash ass.
Which just added to my pain.
Oh yeah, you don't need that when you're dealing with a kidney stone.
Yes, to be heckled when you're in that level of pain.
That's sad.
Beyond the pale.
It's unforgivable, isn't it? My goodness. Yeah. So you're not really better yet, though, huh? You're better for now, but you're not better.
Nope.
What'd they do? They just took like a coffee straw and pushed it back up?
Essentially.
Like, right? You said they just pushed it back? And
I have a stent.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. I didn't know that.
So it didn't pass yet. It's just...
No, it's still there.
So a stent is something that...
It's there mocking me.
That's like... in the urethra that holds it open or something?
The ureter.
Oh, okay, so that's further back.
Because I didn't know what I was going to see when I came out of the procedure.
Yeah.
I'm like, is there going to be something like a bag strapped to me with some tubes or something? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And no, thankfully not. But
oh man.
So you can pee in comfort?
I wouldn't say comfort, but
so it is a little bit uncomfortable. It's not horrible pain, but it's discomfort. And
it's not really from that. I think it's just from the whole experience. I'm still recovering.
Knowledge that there's a stent in there. Yeah. That's got to be. Yeah.
What does a stent look like?
It's a tube, right?
It's a tube.
I think so.
Like a macaroni noodle.
Yeah.
I think I have one of those up mine still from when I was a kid playing around with my lunch.
Well, you got one stuck in your nose, right?
I did, yeah.
Poor guy.
It was an uncooked macaroni noodle.
Poor Andy.
Had to call Mom at work. I don't know what I was doing.
Poor Andy.
I wasn't very bright.
Someone help Andy.
Yeah, help me. No one ever did. And look what happened. Look where we are now.
We're here.
We are here now.
And there's a third person who hasn't been introduced
yet. You're right. And he's directly to Nick's left. You want him. We got him.
I can have it every day, yeah. I can have it. Get out of my way, yeah. Fuck you.
Put your hands together all around the world for the breakout star of the podcast medium. Chris L's in the house. You know how like when
Chris L's in the house.
Chris L.
I saw something that I've seen this before, but I saw it again the other day where someone's like sends someone a text when they're on the other side of the planet and they say, "Hey, I'm going to put a piece of bread on the ground, and you put a piece of bread on the ground where you are, and we'll make a sandwich out of the earth at the same time."
I've heard of that.
Yeah,
I've never heard of that.
And who wants to do this?
No, I was just saying I saw that the other day, and I'd seen it before, but I was going to say, in the same fashion, everyone around the world, put your hands together. Wherever you are, we want the whole...
We're clapping around the world.
Yes, we want the whole planet to hear it. Put your hands together for the breakout star of the podcast medium.
It's true.
Yep, Chris L is in the house.
It's not hyperbole.
It's really not.
No.
Here's the thing. He's the breakout star. We just can't figure out a way to make people find out that he's the breakout star.
Some people have.
The problem. Well, some people have, but I mean, on the level that other breakout stars
like all the true greats, there's a cult following.
Sure. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what we do about that.
See if we tarnish the legacy.
Yeah. So my twist on what you just described is I will text one of my buddies in the next state over, Michigan.
Yeah.
And do the same thing, and then just say, so together we'll make an open face sandwich
on a really big plate with two pieces of bread.
Exactly. So it doesn't hit the same way as what you're describing, but that's my little twist on it.
Yeah, I like it. I like where you're going with it. Well, look where we are. We're here. Episode 515.
You guys hungry?
I'm starving. I don't know why. I ate a lot. I'm still hungry.
I think these are the first treats dedicated and named after a listener.
What?
Well,
Yeah.
let's play the song.
Something that was invented this morning.
Who wants to eat dainties? Who wants to eat baked treats with me?
This looks good.
So, in honor of Roderick Von Oven's 40th birthday happening today.
Damn, he's
Really?
he's that young?
He's that young. He's got you by a few months there.
I thought I was the youngest listener
Nope.
or host.
Nope. So
Damn it.
happy birthday, Roderick. I present to you some Roderick bark.
Jeez.
Stuff that's popular in his neck of the woods. So
What's his neck of the woods?
the Netherlands.
Okay.
And also the nether regions. Two places he spends a lot of time.
Yeah.
He's got dual citizenship.
And I would say the latter is a place where you would prefer not to find any bark, but I could be wrong.
That's true. Well, what is it appears to be chocolatey on one side and maybe caramel base or something.
So the bottom is a toffee saltine cracker kind of thing. You know, you've had that before.
I guess so.
No,
Like it's mixed together.
You lay out some saltine crackers. You make some toffee and pour it over while it's hot.
I've never done that.
Let it cool.
I don't know about that.
I'm not a fan of the name that it's usually given, but people call it crack, like Christmas crack. They'll put like sprinkles on it.
Can't say that anymore, Nick.
Which I don't like.
You can't say that anymore.
I don't like that they call it that.
We don't talk about that anymore.
I told our mom earlier over the phone what it was called, and she said crap.
Crap bark.
I said, yeah, I'm gonna call it crapola now.
That's good.
So
that works.
So, and then you can do like a peanut butter layer, but I decided to go European and did a homemade cookie butter layer on top of that.
Okay.
And then the top, instead of just melting chocolate chips, it's butter mixed with Nutella and then spread on it. And
get you.
There you have it, dedicated to the man himself.
Wow. Well, happy birthday, Roderick. He's been listening for a long time.
Yeah, he has.
Very nice guy. Good dude. Been around forever. So thank you.
His baked treat is very flavorful, rich.
It is very rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I tried some. I not all the time do I try some before I bring it over. More fun that way.
Yeah, to just throw it at us and see if we like it.
But
I get it.
I tried some of this, and the cookie butter is an interesting aftertaste. Would you say so, Chris? It's sort of a cinnamony, gingery, because it's made out of ginger snaps.
Not picking up on that
No?
at all. Just I think maybe the Nutella is
There's a lot of that
overpowering it, but
Yeah.
it's more chocolatey, caramel-y to me. Now, given Roderick's name, did this baked treat spend any time in the oven?
It did. Spent 5 minutes in there,
There you go. All right.
so it counts.
So it is baked.
Indeed.
Okay. Very good.
Good. Yeah, it's very tasty.
So, what do we do? It's my turn, right?
No.
Damn.
Always.
Trying to trick
Always trying to
hijack
hijack it.
Yeah, I'm trying to trick you guys. It's Chris's turn. We're going to go to the list. What are you thinking, Chris? How are you feeling today? List, yeah? All right, so how many are on this list at this point? Oh, my gosh, let's see.
Are we up to 800 yet?
Oh, yeah. 821. We're at 821. Let's see. Let me pop in all the necessary information here. Anything we want to talk about before we spin the dice?
Some revelation that I just got in a group text. That's terrifying. A terrifying prospect.
Okay.
I don't know if I should reveal it. It's up to Tom if he wants me to tell the the listeners. It has to do with kidney stones.
Oh, man.
Yikes.
Everybody's got a horror story, huh?
Basically, it seems.
Well, actually, before you kind of had like an ideal kidney stone.
I had a silly fluke, dumb luck story. Yeah.
Nick's. Was that your only other one?
Yeah. Then it caught up to me this time, but
so Nick had another kidney stone that was like a piece of cake.
It was the least painful kidney stone probably anybody's ever had.
Didn't it just come out and you didn't even know?
It came out, yeah. It was during a urine sample at the doctor. They're like, give us a urine sample. Dink. What was that?
So how many times have you done that without even knowing? You know? It's possible, right?
I guess.
That you've just been peeing? Or did you feel something?
Well, there was some irritation and sensations.
Right.
But, yeah.
I like those sensations.
Neither of which you're unfamiliar with, just on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Irritations and sensations.
Okay, so Tom said it's fine for me to reveal this.
Okay.
Tom says, similar kind of thing. He said it was worse. And then he says, and I pulled out my own stent.
Yeah.
Jesus, dude. What the hell? Are you nuts?
I can't even imagine such a thing.
You guys and your fucking stents, man. That in and of itself is crazy.
Tom's pulling it out.
Yeah.
Tom says that's enough.
That's because Tom's kidney stone had the word ebonite engraved on the side of it. So
he pulled it out and rolled a 280.
Exactly. He pulled it out and converted the Greek church with it. So
what is that? A spare?
Yeah.
I haven't even heard of a Greek church.
Well, Tom knows what it is. Bowling nerds will know what it is.
Yeah.
Not easily converted, but Tom did it with the boulder out of his own dick.
All right, Nick. Give it a spin.
Nick is spinning?
Nick gives the spin, but you get to pick.
I have to turn on.
Why am I just realizing that now?
Yeah, Nick always spins it for everyone.
All right.
Yep. Give it a spin.
See my lever?
Yep. Very interesting. Very low number. Number 40. Mm-hmm. I'm sending this to Chris now.
We're in St. Peter territory.
I was going to say St. Peter still kicking at 40.
Yeah, and I think into the 60s.
Because he would, I don't know, how old was St. Peter? Like Jesus' age?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know exactly. I don't know if anybody really knows exactly, but
yeah, but ballpark. But
yeah, he was. I think he was martyred in like the 60s.
1960s?
Well, no.
The civil rights movement? I don't know. Different time?
Not in Watts or anything like that.
Yeah,
no.
that's what I was thinking. Kicked off all that madness.
Let me keep this one in the hopper.
Oh,
okay.
Come back to it if the next two are.
It was an interesting submission, right?
Oh yeah, and I would pick it outright, but if we come back to it, I'll explain why I didn't. But it'll be covered if the next two are shit.
Okay.
So.
Okay, well let's find
out.
So
a lukewarm reaction, but that's okay.
No, I would pick it. I would pick it right away, but I have a rationale for not that I will explain if we come back to it.
Okay. Nick, once more, please. Okay, we got the number.
Ready.
It is. We got number 175. That is in front of Chris. Let's see what he thinks.
Let's see here.
Damn, that's a pretty good one too.
He's thinking.
I'm gonna Bushwick that just because I'd rather do the first one between those two.
All right.
Move along to the next trick.
Okay.
It's not a bad one, but
just not feeling it right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Nick, I'm gonna need you to do one more.
I'll set it back up.
Yep. Hold on. Go ahead. Pull it.
Oh, it's not working. Oh, there it goes.
Okay.
To fix this thing.
Okay. Another. These are all pretty low. Oddly, like, did I say what number that was? I don't think
175.
I did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This one is number 140. Why are they all so low?
I don't
know.
It's just
the
how it
random.
goes.
Random.
Yeah, it's just interesting. All right, and Chris has that in front of him. And let's see what he thinks. He's grunting. It's a tough set here. Not bad, but I mean, it's a tough choice.
Yeah. Best discussion is going to come from the first one, so I'm going to push with that one.
All right. Let's bush it then.
Move along to the next trick.
But before we get into that, the year 175 has yielded some material for one of our other segments, so hit it.
Habemus Papa.
Time for Pope stuff. Yeah, that Pope stuff. Here's some Pope stuff.
Ridiculous music.
Time for Pope stuff.
It goes on way too long.
No way.
No.
To find fault with that would be a fool's errand.
There's something for 140 as well. Something brief.
Really?
Yeah.
You could say that too if you want.
Sure.
You didn't find this one for 175?
No, I missed that one, I guess.
Oh, it's right there.
No.
Again, interesting names. And we've got 2 popes in this little tidbit. So, I don't know. Maybe Nick can shed some light on these names. They're standing out to me as being pretty interesting. Pope Eleuderus.
Wow.
Succeeds Pope Soter.
Oh, wow.
As the 13th Pope.
Interesting. Well, I'm going to go a bit before you there. Pope Pius I, which we've had 12 of, succeeds Pope Hyginus as the 10th Pope of Rome.
The cleanest Pope.
Indeed.
He didn't get a lot done as far as poping.
No.
He was mostly in the tub.
And then which Pius was the first pope you mentioned?
It was Pius the First. So he was.
Okay.
He was the first of so far up to 12 Piuses.
The OP, if you will.
The OP.
And I believe he was the first one to go by the nickname Water Pius. So, yeah, real trailblazer there.
He's featured on my clock in the
in the
Let's Pod Tonight video.
He's on there, huh?
Pius the First.
Water Pius.
You want me to make that again?
I do not.
You want another shot?
I don't, actually.
I'm just wondering because
is that what you say when your kids are bad? you want another water pie? You want another one?
I'll do it.
Huh?
We got water.
I'd rather be water boarded than have a
water pie boarded might be really something.
Slices of pie being dropped on your forehead.
Your arms tied behind your back. No defense. All right.
So which one did we go with? The first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
The second 2 are both good. A little too classic rock for me, and would also yield probably more serious music discussions, which I know Andy is not a huge fan of. But this one is venturing into some dicey territory that we've ventured before, but I think of the 3 we have to go with that. I'll reveal the song first, and then I'll get into my rationale why I was not didn't pick it instantly.
Okay. Do you know all the information?
I do.
Okay. Well, then let's turn the microphone over to Chris Jericho.
All right, Harold. This one's called
You Oughta Know.
Off of
Jagged Little Pill.
Oh my.
by the band
Alanis Morissette.
Wow.
Trying to pass a Jagged Little Pill myself.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even think about that, but that works. So this will be the second song we've ever done with a female vocalist. The first one was the Hailstorm one.
That's
right?
the only other one.
I think so.
Wow.
Isn't that true, Nick?
As far as I could think of for a lead vocalist, yeah, I think so.
Wow.
And something my wife has been on my case about pretty frequently is that, we lack a female perspective here, and this is a song that would definitely benefit from that. But,
well,
short of driving over to Jackie's place right now, I don't think, we're going to be able to get anybody on the line. So.
Well, we have the next best thing because this was submitted by Jackie.
Oh.
And she left a comment. So, hey, it's a start towards a female perspective.
There's some help
us understand
there.
So, our friend Jackie, she says, okay, we all know this one, but what is Pot of Thunder's take on it? Surely Flea and Navarro from Red Hot Chili Peppers playing on it warrants some discussion.
That's
and
true.
And is this Taylor Hawkins as well?
I don't believe he recorded.
Okay.
I think he was just in the live band and in the video. I could be wrong, but I don't know that for sure.
And the whole Dave Coulier thing.
Oh boy.
I for one was all in on this one back in the day. So I got to tell you, if I ever heard that Flea and Dave Navarro played on it, I forgot.
I didn't know that.
I don't think.
Oh yeah, you didn't know? You guys didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, they were on it in the studio.
I mean, this album was pushed so hard. This is one of those where who is this all of a sudden?
Oh yeah, like overnight.
And
right?
it's like it's one of those things that happened. Like I remember when Smells Like Teen Spirit came out on MTV, going even further back, I remember when Welcome to the Jungle came out. And it was like, never heard of these guys? How are they number one on Dial MTV already? How did everybody hear of them already? Like, there were certain things that were just pushed hard.
Yeah.
And those are a few examples. This one I remember, yes. It's like, nobody knows who this is, but it's everywhere. It's a monster song. It's top of everything right now. Like, where did this come from? How did this happen?
Yeah, there were, major people behind it. It was on Maverick, which is Madonna's label. Producer Glenn Ballard, a heavy hitter in the industry. And it was just, this was going to be a hit album no matter what. They were going to make this a hit. And I think the material is strong. It's not, didn't become a hit just because it was full of crap. I mean, there's some good stuff on here, but yeah, 33 million copies worldwide.
Wow. That's crazy.
Ridiculous.
Jeez, really? That many?
Yeah.
So the guy who played drums on this is Matt Laug, L-A-U-G, not L-O-G, which would be better.
Andy would love that.
I would be his biggest fan.
He played drums as part of Steve Plunkett's reformed Autograph lineup from 2002 to 2005.
There you go.
And when that happened, that's when he was bestowed with the name Shit Log. Yeah, that's no feather in your cap to play with Plunkett.
Yeah. Well, Alice Cooper / a Snake Pit. Yeah, he's been around.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know. Oh, wow. Okay.
He's no dumb cookie.
I guess not. I don't know him, but hey, he's a stud.
But yeah, Navarro and Flea both on this.
Had no idea. And this was what year?
95.
So this was,
This was Navarro and Flea years.
This was
one
prime
hot minute era.
Yeah.
prime Chili Peppers era. I don't care what anybody says.
Ooh, you mean of all eras?
Well, I'm just saying this is a prime era.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's the only one, but a lot of people like to forget it or disregard it or write it off.
Including the band. And when they were inducted in the Hall of Fame, he was not among the Chili Peppers. I'm talking about Navarro.
But everyone else who ever was in the band.
Seriously, their original drummer, who nobody has ever heard of, and I don't think played on a recording, was fucking inducted.
That guy, I think he did play on a recording. The guy who was before Jack Irons.
Really?
Yeah, I think he played on the first album.
Okay.
And whoever the first guitar player was, too.
Well, Hillel.
Before him.
Oh.
There's another guy on the first album. Because Irons and Hillel were not... They were like in a... Not rival band, but like another signed band that they were trying to make it on their own, and then they came over. I think they started the Chili Peppers, left before the recording of the first album, then came back. Like, because they had another thing that was their real band, and the Chili Peppers was like a joke band turned real band.
Oh, so you said Jeremy Irons was their first?
Yes, he was. Yeah, Man in the Iron Mask.
Wanted to make sure.
Yep. I think I'm correct on that.
It sounds about right. The point being that the Chili Peppers got to decide who was inducted versus everybody else who the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame doesn't like, and they decide who's inducted. But also in this case, they clearly decided that Navarro shouldn't be inducted because they don't really acknowledge that era of the band.
I'll never understand that.
Huge visibility. I mean, they did the Woodstock concert that you can find anytime. Everybody's seen that. And then, 95 was a huge time for that type of music.
And plus it was, that was Navarro was at the top of the heap, and that was a big deal when they brought him in.
Are you trying to tell me that you didn't hear Aeroplane every single day during that era? I mean,
they were huge hits. My Friends was on there.
Warped was a big one.
Warped, not as big as the other two.
No, not as big, but it was the introductory single, I believe, of that lineup.
It was, but it wasn't as
big. I remember seeing the video quite a bit.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't as My Aeroplane was.
No, Aeroplane was, that was the huge one.
Yeah, it's not it's an excellent album, and you would imagine mutual respect of musicians on that level, but that he's essentially been blackballed from Chili Peppers history, as far as I can tell.
Ridiculous.
Anyway,
very strange. Did those guys play on the whole album or just this song? Just this song. Okay,
that's strange. I wonder if they figure this is the first single. I don't know. I'm not sure why they would get guest musicians just for the one single, but who knows?
Yeah, don't know how how they were picked to appear on this album. But
producer Glenn Ballard. Okay. All right. I don't see any connection between him and those guys, so yeah, I don't know. It's a mystery how those guys were involved. I'm sure somebody knows, but it's somebody who isn't me, Nick, or Chris. So, this was a huge song, of course, as we said. This was the lead single.
I believe this is the first one I ever
heard. Out of the gate with this one, which is an edgy choice, and one of the reasons why it picked up steam was because of the subject matter of the lyrics, and then the whole Coulier connection came out later, but
we'll talk about that.
Interesting story.
Still baffling to me.
Yeah, I don't know much about it other than the fact that just things don't seem to add up there, but we will talk about it as the song goes on.
Okay. Well, are you guys ready to dive into this?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I could use a commercial, though.
Yeah, commercial's the best.
Take the edge off.
Let's take a quick commercial.
So before we do that, though, just put this out there. Apologies for there's not going to be a real-time female perspective on this, but again, this speaks to the spontaneity of the show. We don't know what's going to come up, and was not, you never know what's on the list, and so we'll see what happens.
All right. Yep. And that commercial was for Nick.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep. And then one more. Let's have one more.
Okay.
And this one's going to be for our female listeners. Okay. Good.
Dedicate one to the ladies.
Yep.
And then Rich just sent me a message on the Dave Coulier thing. We'll get into that, but there's another man who it's speculated to be about other than him.
Jeez.
So, really?
Yeah.
Not aware of that.
We'll get into that. We have it loaded up.
Okay. Let's do it.
I want you to know that I'm happy for you.
Now that's already you can hear kind of one of the things that is a trademark of sort of, well, I guess of this song definitely, but of Alanis Morissette, it's the just super emotional delivery.
Yeah.
Like someone who's about to fall apart.
Very theatrical.
And that's what's happening already, and it's just going to get more extreme as the song goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this is like, I would call this like definitely in the realm of the female empowerment anthem, but a little less pandering and a little more, has a little more punch to it. Obviously, there's a little more, fortitude behind it versus like your, I don't know,
Joan Baez.
This is my fight song, or some of these other female empowerment anthems that are, or Katy Perry. What is that? You're gonna hear me roar or whatever. It's just kind of those seem a little pandering or whatever. This is like actual storytelling, and you believe it that she actually lived this. With Coulier or whoever else Rich has revealed to be as the other person. Interesting that he has this knowledge of it.
Rich has knowledge on pretty much everything.
He's one of those guys. He knows everything. I don't know how he does it. How he has time to learn all these facts.
He's a reader.
Yeah, and he's sits around watching trains all day. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Surf the internet on the phone and absorb pointless information all day.
Yep.
So
I wish nothing but the best for you both. I know the version of me. Is she perverted like me? Would she go down on you in a theater?
That's the line everybody talks about. That's the big one.
That's the one where they picture Dave Coulier.
Right. What we were getting at, the Dave Coulier thing. Yeah. So.
Well, yeah, and there's a disconnect there. Who wants to go down on Dave Coulier anywhere, much less a fucking
I wonder
theater.
if he was doing his Richard Pryor impression at the time.
I didn't know he did one.
Did you? So, okay. Very interesting fact that I heard in an interview with him once. A couple years back, he was on Bob Saget's podcast.
Okay.
And they were talking about how he would do looping.
For Richard Pryor?
Yeah, like if Richard Pryor's audio wasn't great and they couldn't get him to come fix it for something, he was on tour or whatever.
Wow.
They would get Dave Coulier.
That's crazy.
I
never heard that.
Parts of Richard Pryor's dialogue.
That's
for
funny.
Looping in his films.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Very cool. I'm gonna have to check.
No
that
wonder
out. Did
the
he
ladies
do the
love him.
impression?
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah,
yeah. He did do a little bit of it. Yeah,
I'd like to hear that. That's all cool and everything. It's what's really interesting is how this comes up so quickly into the conversation. Like she's just, it's the fourth sentence. Well, she goes right into go down on you in the theater.
Right.
Yeah.
This is like a wounded animal kind of a thing going on. This is not someone who has had their cool off period.
Well, right. So the first set of lyrics before the whole band kicked in and she went to the perverted like me line has a similar sentiment to, I guess, Adele's Hello, where it's like I want the best for you even though we're not together anymore, and then then the direction of her diatribe goes in a seriously different direction, which again, a little more vitriol, or a lot more vitriol behind it. But when it starts out, it's a little more almost sentimental, like the Adele song, and then it gets into perversions and public blowjobs and whatnot.
Yeah, I just got a message from Rich. He said that Mr. Woodchuck chewed a hole through the bottom of the popcorn bag in the theater. Okay, Rich didn't say that. Just wanted to do a tribute quote to Rich.
Poor Rich. I might as well just drop the Rich revelation here.
Okay.
He said, I always heard it was Dave Coulier. About a year ago, I read an article that it was ex-NHL player Mike Peluso. He said something about her getting around to various Canadian men with mullets.
Mike Peluso, huh?
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Coulier is that, I don't know, I guess it would be a similar dynamic to, oftentimes the more plain the woman likes, the wilder she oftentimes is in the boudoir or in the theater or wherever it is.
Okay.
Maybe that's the same dynamic with dudes. Some fucking dork like Coulier is a fucking freak.
It could be. That could be the case. Look at Mike Peluso, though. I buy it.
Yeah. Oh, I buy anybody over Coulier. I mean, how does Dave Coulier dredge up this much anger in someone? I would think they would be happy to be rid of that guy. If I was a woman.
Yeah.
Certainly wouldn't be going down on him in a theater or anywhere else for that matter. Peluso, I believe, though.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense with him. But, yeah. Coulier doesn't have the... Like you said, maybe I just don't get it, but I don't see him as being a guy who has, like, the spontaneous sex factor.
Well, not only spontaneous sex factor, but apparently so good at sex that he dredges up this level of anger and revenge, vengeful sentiment that we get in this song. It doesn't compute with me. It doesn't make any sense. But you could say the same thing of Bob Saget for his Full House persona versus his stand-up persona. It's two vastly different things.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that similar is going on. I believe Peluso, though, is more likely. But anyway, if we stick to Coulier, it'll make for more funny analysis.
Well, and that's the one that is most often, very dominantly talked about. Overwhelming majority of conversations about this song are about Dave Coulier.
Where does that even come from? Is it a fact that they were a couple or something?
I guess.
I'm pretty sure it was a fact that they were a couple. I think I've seen pictures of them together, but who knows?
Yeah.
Hopefully, unless he's a total freak, if she's goes down on him in a theater, hopefully he had was a gentleman enough to drape his Red Wings jersey over her so nobody could visually see what was going on in the theater. Although it is dark in there, so maybe nobody was seeing it anyway. But
yeah,
this could be like you sold our sexy conversations to the BBC. No basis in reality whatsoever.
Just sounded good.
That's another alternative.
That's a possibility.
But as we talk about all the time, you can kind of tell when somebody's phoning it in or when somebody's is bought into the lyrical delivery. This is definitely the latter. I don't think anybody can really dispute that.
I just made a typo. I was writing Dave Coulier Alanis. I put Dave Coulier anal. Oh no! Close the phone. Gotta go to the T-Mobile store
off
tomorrow.
That AI website.
Yeah, Jesus. I got an oil painting of it.
Get off a Redbubble immediately.
But yeah, the perverted like me and go down on you in the theater was obviously like edgy. Ooh, I can't believe she just said that in a song.
Yeah.
But then later on, she drops an F-bomb, which was bleeped out on radio, but it gets even more intense as the song goes on.
All right, let's keep going.
Does she speak eloquently? And would she have your baby? I'm sure she'd make a really excellent mother. 'Cause the love that you gave every day wasn't able to make it up for you to be open wide.
What are you looking at over there?
I'm looking at the lyrics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm reading along.
It's like, yeah, let's put the I'm a guy. This is gonna be coming from my perspective or a man's perspective. Talking about going down on the theater, and then you switch gears to baby talk. Yeah, hit the brakes on the "have my baby" bit. I'm not into that right now. Let's scale that back a little bit. We're not, that's something that would pop into a woman's mind, is having somebody's baby.
Or Paul Anka.
Or R. Kelly. Yeah. Make a baby in this theater. But yeah, from my perspective, you're like, okay, slow your roll a bit on the "have my baby" bit. Just would not.
It's a little frightening.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that from someone who's going down on me in a theater.
Especially, I mean, she's a young woman here. What, like
21?
21, yeah. So. Unhinged.
Yeah.
I was gonna say who knows how autobiographical it is, so I'm not gonna try to even speculate or comment on that. But within the confines of the song, it's a very unstable. It's a person in an unstable state, at least. It's a person who's been hurt very recently and is just lashing out.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is, like, if this didn't actually happen, or some close approximation, she's a better songwriter than you would think otherwise, because to dredge up this level of vitriol with it not ever happening to you would be an impressive feat.
Well, and for whatever reason, that reminds me of a few years after this, and this isn't a comment on the anger or the delivery here, but just on an album that was enormous with a pretty young woman as the the flagship person for the album. Mm-hmm. As I remember when the Avril Lavigne album came out, and people were like, "There's no way this is just like a young woman's like first album out of the gate, and it's this polished. There's this many hits." It's like, it reminds me of this, where you probably had people saying the same thing. And it was pushed like heavily. It pushed probably.
That was so bad, though. Even though success was there, but I'm just saying, shitty.
I'm just saying, it's like
the Avril Lavigne album.
Terrible.
Andy had a great cover version. I don't know if he's got the video.
Skater Boy?
Yeah. It was at the cafe
in his banana costume.
It was just it was nonsense.
Loved it.
It wasn't sincere.
But I don't know. It just reminded me of it. It was something like a similar type of a thing where you had a young woman, and who knows? It's the same thing with anybody. Same thing with like Michael Jackson, whoever. It's like, to what extent is the songwriting, like, you don't know behind the scenes. Are there 50 people working on a song, or is it like, is this person really like this genius songwriter?
Well, I think it's safe to say that they're heavy hitters work on both those albums, and a lot of them, and they were determined that somebody decided that those two were going to be huge stars and their album was going to be a major hit, and they made it happen.
That's what happened, yeah.
But to write these lyrics and deliver them the way she does in this song without any of it ever happening to you would be pretty impressive, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's something to this.
Yeah.
I think I can hear Flea.
I was gonna say, you definitely hear him now.
Yeah, this is.
I didn't know that, but yeah,
I had no idea.
And so you didn't know Flea and Navarro played on this until today?
Until a half hour ago.
Same.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty common knowledge. The other interesting thing is, years later in her stage band, Eric A. from Jane's Addiction played bass.
Oh, did he really?
She essentially had the whole damn band, except for Perkins.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Wow.
And just I knew it. I knew those guys played on this, but just tonight listening to it, I made the connection. Like, a lot of like what Navarro played on Aeroplane is kind of what the approach he's taken to this song. Not his typical Jane's Addiction thing, just more of like, just that last passage sounded a lot of like what he was playing in Aeroplane.
Big chorus, and I mean it this time.
Big chorus, big hooks, and again, an absolutely just 100% genuine conviction in that vocal delivery.
Yeah,
nobody can say otherwise.
The guitar's so far back, though. It's a weird sound. Am I the only one hearing that? Like it sounds like it's just purposely, but you're not really getting much definition in the guitar sound.
The drums are super hot. Drums and vocals are the main thing,
and the bass. Listening to it in the headphones, the blue microphone headphones. I'm really getting like the bass like crazy.
Yeah,
like more than I'd ever noticed it before.
I never noticed that because I'd never listened to this song in headphones or like on a proper stereo sitting down in my life.
No.
I've heard it in a car.
I've never listened to the song on purpose.
Someone else,
in this tanning salon, possibly.
Exactly. It would work for that.
Yeah, why not?
Some kind of vengeful tanning.
Revenge tan.
I'll show you tanning.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Exactly.
That's a real
Is
thing.
it?
I don't know. Why not?
Is there some underground scene
like
that
people,
you know about?
I was going to say, people like might go to the gym and have some kind of revenge. Gotcha. I'm going to get my body back because I'm mad at this person. I could see tanning be part of that regimen.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess I never really thought about it. Listen to it closely, but I don't know. Its guitar sounds about where it should be. You don't really want it overpowering a vocal this gritty. I don't know. I never noticed that.
It's just unusual for, I think, this type of huge song like this. Like the guitar, it's pretty. I wouldn't. It's not drowned out, but just the I don't know how they mic'd it. It sounds like they mic'd it from pretty far away.
Well, let's not forget Dave Navarro's a weirdo, as great as he is.
But it's probably not his call.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
I know.
At this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll listen more closely, but that didn't occur to me. No.
Let's continue here.
Very well. Things look peaceful. I'm not quite as well. I thought you should know. Did you forget about me, Mr. Duplicity? I hate to bug you in the middle of dinner.
There's some strange pronunciations in this song.
Yeah.
Theater.
Interesting inflection.
Inflection is a good way to say it.
Yeah.
Adds to the overall theatrical effect.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of bizarre at times.
Yeah.
Like just words that... And it sort of takes you out of the song for a second because it's kind of jarring the way that things are being enunciated.
But it is interesting to have that pause and then that punch of the word dinner.
Yeah,
it's like you think it's going to be.
Oh, this is a furious person.
Yeah, I was going to say, she's she's
so mad that you wanna find the right word to yell and have it sound perfect, and you just can't.
Yeah. She's putting the emphasis on dinner, I think, to let him know that it's not that important. You should be.
To heck with your dinner.
Yeah. And she's probably right. I mean, this guy he clearly did her wrong.
Well, yes.
We just don't know exactly what the situation is.
We don't know what the situation is, but this is backs up the idiom "hell hath no fury like a woman scorned," and also lays credence to the fact that you should not answer the phone while you're having dinner.
Yeah,
just
that's a lesson I learned.
Put the phone aside.
Yeah.
I learned that lesson as a young man. People call you right when you're about to... just get home from Taco Bell and you open your Nachos Bel Grande and the phone rings. Someone has some dramatic news for you and they won't stop talking.
Or they don't.
Or either or, but...
And they keep talking anyway.
For some reason you can't end the call and your food's getting cold.
Well, on the other side of that, I made the mistake once of calling my friend Greg during the dinner hour, and his dad answered, and can I talk to Greg? It's like, don't ever call here again during the dinner hour.
Wow.
Click.
What is the dinner hour? 7?
Like 5-ish, 5 to 6. I don't know.
Yeah.
I never called during the dinner hour again.
No, certainly not.
I respect that.
I got the message.
They had playing in the background, going to wait till the dinner hour, playing on the record player.
Yeah.
You know, when I was a kid, I used to have a friend who for several years would always call during Christmas morning. And I'd be like, we're opening presents, and he'd be talking. I'm like, what are you doing? What's wrong with you?
That's not a time.
Like, his family must have gotten up an hour earlier or something and opened their presents, but have some respect.
Yeah. Yeah, I learned I didn't have to be told twice. I never called him again during the dinner hour.
Don't ever call here again during the Christmas hour.
Click.
Yeah.
There was a slap in the face, how quickly I was replaced. And are you thinking of me when you fuck her? 'Cause the love that you gave every night was a table that ain't good enough for you to be open wide.
Flea's a great bass player, but I don't like it. I don't like what he's doing. It's
too
it's a million notes up. It's high register, low register. It's not, to my ears at least, it's not like a focused bass line.
Yeah, he's doing Flea things, and I'm not really sure that's what was called for here.
But it could have been like a give it away type Flea thing where you're doing a big slide and then there's something in the high register. But this is just kind of random little notes every so often. He's great, but I don't like what he's doing here.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, either the Ballard signed off on it, so they were fine with it. But Navarro, on the other hand, is playing perfect parts, and in my estimation, very textural. You know, clean guitar with all the delay and the chorus. You know, whatever he's. You know, the things that he was famous for, but more of a clean thing. But, you know, he's definitely not doing Dave Navarro things that you would expect, like, from a Jane's Addiction performance, whereas Flea is doing, you know, Mother's Milk era stuff.
Yeah.
And every time you speak her name, does she know how you told me and hold me until you die, but you're still alive, and I'm here to remind you of the mess you left when you went away. It's not fair to deny me of the cross I bear that you gave to me. You ought to know.
Some brushes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't hear any distant guitar in that chorus. That's all. It's pretty powerful. There's a couple guitars going on. There's a wah thing happening where he's stabbing at it, going in time with the chorus. I'm not hearing what you're hearing.
Well, I'm not saying the wah, the guitar with the wah effect on it, but there was a distorted guitar earlier in the song where it was
like during the verse.
It was really far back. And it sounded like it was in a bucket.
Well, I definitely didn't hear that on
kind of a thing.
Maybe brought it forward on that second chorus, but I definitely didn't hear it.
I'm wondering if it's one of those things, where as far as the production goes, there's a bit of a crescendo happening.
Could be
a slow crescendo.
Yeah.
Maybe it was to simulate what it would sound like if you had your head covered by Dave Coulier's Red Wings jersey in a movie theater. I don't know. But yeah, as you heard, she dropped the F-bomb, which if you only heard the song on the radio, you never heard it. But boy, did she put that word out there. You know,
she did.
And
she put a lot of mustard on it too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I don't think this is fabricated or made up or whatever you want to say about it. I think whether it was Coulier or Paluzzo or whoever, she to some extent lived what she's singing about here.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it resonated with people. That and of course the edgy lyrics, but you made a joke about AI earlier, but that human element is always going to be, it's always going to resonate with people if it's delivered with in a genuine way and by someone with talent. You're never going to be able to simulate that or outdo that with artificial intelligence. It's just simply impossible. That human element will always win out if it's delivered the right way by someone with some actual talent.
And listening to this, I had a flashback to a time that I heard this in a car when it was a current new song. It was with our brother Jay's friend John was driving, and we were going to, I want to say it was Monday Nitro at the United Center, because we were in Chicago, and I don't know how many other times I was with John in Chicago at that time. So I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But I remember a white knuckle highway ride while this song was on at an uncomfortable volume while he's doing like 4 lane changes at a time with no signals, like an absolute maniac on the highway going to the United Center.
Pretty sure he was at the Navarro era Chili Peppers concert.
Yeah,
with
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Did he drive?
No, I'm still here.
Yeah, no kidding. Maniac. Yeah.
So you saw the Chili Peppers with Navarro?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. You had to have mentioned that before. I just didn't.
That was great, man.
Where? What venue was that?
United Center. They're all wearing Bulls jerseys.
Really?
Yeah, it was great, man. Everybody kept saying, "I think Rodman's here. They're probably gonna bring him out."
Did they?
No. But it was just funny that everybody was like, "Rodman's here. Rodman's here." It's like, yeah, he probably is. He's wondering where the Chili Peppers are at tonight.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, unless there was a game somewhere else, I'm sure you would be there.
I remember it being really cold. I think it was like March, but it was like freezing out.
Like 96 then, I guess.
Yeah, I think
Turned
so.
over to 96.
Yeah, I think it had to have been.
Because I think he would have been on the Spurs still if it was 95. Like he would have been Bulls late 95 into 96.
It must have been, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
This passage here reminds me of one of my favorite female-fronted albums from a few years after this. That first Nick Acosta album.
Oh, okay.
And Everybody Got Their Something was on.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff like this. I don't know, production-wise, who did, if there was a similar component there. But this little part reminds me a lot of that.
Well, I've got something for our friends across the pond. This part sounds like something that would be a theme song for a Jamie Oliver cooking show. You ever watch those on PBS?
The Naked Chef stuff or what?
No, he's always got like different shows every 6 months or something where it's like 5 ingredient meals or whatever, like a certain amount of time. There's like a theme to it. And there are always these like 90s like dance beat kind of British thing, but they're like real songs that he pulls from it, and that's his theme song for the thing. Sounds like this.
Must be what he's into.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing though is for this interlude to be in a hit radio signal was pretty unusual back in the day.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dynamics going on in the 90s with the loud, soft.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about, but for this to be in a massive hit single and not have it cut out in like a radio edit or whatever you wanted to call it, is pretty impressive. That again, the first single from a relatively unknown artist that just goes out intact. The only thing is, the F-bomb edited out.
Mm-hmm.
They had some clout behind this. People, dictating that this was going to be a hit and it was going to be played as recorded, and that's it. So. Mm-hmm.
Andy's smirking at me for some reason.
Because that section that's happened like 3 or 4 times, I have the visual in my head of Jay's friend driving that car like a maniac, but like shaking his head like this while he's like dancing and jerking the wheel across like 4 lanes at a time.
He must have been putting it on for you, I think.
I think so, but I was terrified.
I'm terrified hearing about it.
Yeah.
My nails down someone else's back. I hope you feel it. Well, can you feel it?
Well, there we had the female invoking of the scratch my nails down someone else's back. We touched on the Kitten's Got Claws episode a few weeks ago.
Right. Yeah.
That was another edgy lyric that, you hear that on the song and just it's that female empowerment, but with some real angst behind it.
Yeah.
Is it really empowerment in this song, though? Just sounds like anger.
See, this is where we could use a actual female.
Because I'm just getting like a hurt person who's super angry and is just looking to hurt the other person.
Right,
back.
but I think there's
empowerment.
I think there's some empowerment in there. It's like it's the same empowerment you feel as a man watching Charles Bronson in a Death Wish movie, the revenge theme. It's like, okay, this guy these people killed his family, so he's going to go fuck them up, Yeah, he's angry and he's a psycho too. But as a guy, you watch that and you feel some empowerment, right?
But his level of composure in those films is what makes it.
That's what really gets to Nick.
No, we won't. And then he just shoots the guy.
Right, but this is Bronson we're talking about. I mean, you could go down the list of of revenge theme movies, but that would be the equivalent. Like men fucking watch revenge theme movies and they fucking feel empowered watching that.
It's an angry fantasy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure that she's articulated what sort of revenge she's going to exact on this guy versus just like scaring the shit out of him with how angry she is.
Yeah.
But I would definitely say this is a female empowerment anthem for that same reason, the power of revenge.
Yeah.
And getting inside somebody's head.
Definitely.
Who fucked you over.
What if he didn't do it? What if Peluso was innocent? She just heard something from...
That's another possibility.
Can you imagine the terror that guy was going through if he didn't do whatever she said?
I don't even know what she's talking about.
If he did it, then, he deserves it. But if he didn't do it, my God. Terrifying to have this woman this angry with you.
Yeah. Like I said, hell hath no fury.
I guess,
That's what it's a true statement. But yeah, I would say it's definitely and like I said earlier, an empowerment anthem that's got a little more substance than you're going to hear me roar, or this is my fight song, or what's that other? I am titanium. All this.
What is that? A Titleist sponsor song?
It's a golf ball empowerment anthem.
300-yard plus anthem.
I'm ashamed to say that I'm aware of all these female empowerment anthems, but
I just don't know the titanium one. I'll have to look that up.
I am titanium. It's a woman singing it with those lyrics. It's like female empowerment, but this has got way more substance and, dare I say, balls behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like one person's story versus trying to... It motivates you by putting yourself in her shoes, or maybe if you've been in a similar position versus like, hey, I'm going to write the song for everyone. This is just her telling her story, but you can possibly identify
but that's
with
what I'm saying is why it's genuine and it's legitimate versus I'm gonna write this pandering album and compare women to golf balls and they're gonna they're gonna feel empowered by it or compare themselves to a roaring lion, blah blah blah. It's like this thing, you get the impression that she's going to cut this guy's balls off.
I mean, Lorena Bobbitt was a couple years before this, right?
Oh, wow. So, yeah. It's a real concern.
There you go.
Shouldn't do that stuff.
Well, some people got to find out the hard way.
I guess, yeah.
Well, I'm here to remind you of the mess you left when you went away. It's not fair to deny me all the cross I bear that you gave to me.
And going back to what you said, it's like I never owned this album. I never sought out to listen to it recreationally on my own time, on my own system. But, the times I heard it was, blasting through a car stereo or through a boom box or something. Sounded pretty fucking good coming through those types of speakers. I mean, we talked about it a few episodes ago where back in the day, a lot of when you were recording in the studio, you'd get a rendering of what you just recorded on cassette and you'd take it out to the parking lot and listen to it on a car stereo, and it was like, if it sounds good on this, it's going to sound good anywhere. And it's the production is excellent, and it definitely, whether you buy into what's happening lyrically or not, it sounded pretty damn potent and powerful on a car stereo or a cranked boom box where you were listening to it.
Yeah. I have another thought that just came into my head as I'm reading the lyrics and listening. Another perspective. There's at least a third, but there's another guy in here. How do you feel if you're the next guy?
You don't know.
If you're I don't know, Daniel Alfredson or whoever, I can't think of a guy for the right guy from the time period. You're Felix Potman.
You're Theo Fleury.
Yeah, and you think that she's into you, and then you hear this song, you're like, wait a minute, I'm a revenge relationship here. But hey, it happens, I guess. But it is interesting.
Or worse, you don't hear it on the song, but you hear it coming from the other room when she's yelling at this stuff at this guy on the telephone.
Yeah,
and you're like, what the hell is she yelling at?
Yeah.
You like got your ear up against the door. It's like, holy shit, I'm getting out of here. Wow.
Wow. That's what you say as you're closing the door.
Yeah, exactly.
Going to your car. Wow.
You do the Fred Schneider thing from the Monster video. You put your hand up and
yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah.
This is serious. I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, I gotta go. This is terrifying. I didn't do anything. There it is. 4 minutes and 8 seconds.
Seismic track.
It is.
It was a huge, massive hit.
Mm-hmm.
It set the tone for that whole album. I mean, who knows? Who knows how much different it would have been if they led with another single.
Yeah. So
who knows if Ironic was the only song that became a hit off this album, Yeah. But to lead with this it turned out to be a brilliant move because after this people couldn't get enough of it,
Yeah. Oh, and then Hand in My Pocket is also on this too. 3 big ones.
Well, it's more than that.
Oh, You Learn. That was another big one.
Yeah.
Head Over Feet. Yeah, there's some.
It's like 6 massive hit singles off of this thing.
Damn.
That's how you sell 33 million copies of something.
I guess.
But again, if they never if they decided this was too edgy to be a single, or they didn't lead with it, how different would things been? Who knows? Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, you look at this track listing. You just say,
"Look at that."
One after another.
Yeah.
Nick played this for me one time when it came out, and I said,
"Not bad, Nick. Not bad, Nick."
Okay, it's time to vote. Sweet Surrender or Kick in the Crotch. Chris, you chose this song via Jackie, via the listener submission list.
Yes. Sweet Surrender for me.
It's Sweet Surrender. Hell yes.
Again, I never owned the album, never had a desire to own the album, never had a desire to listen to the song, just on my own time recreationally, but you couldn't escape it in the mid-90s. And when it came on the radio, I wouldn't turn it off. I mean, like I said, it sounds great, well produced, and the conviction is there. It's 100% genuine and just a massive hit. You got to tip your cap to it. No matter what you think of the perspective or the what's going on in the lyrics, or if you're even into female singers, or whatever criteria you have, you just something this popular, it's this genuine, you got to tip your hat to it. So sweet surrender for me, for sure.
All right, Nick,
as something that the protagonist of this song would be capable of, I'm gonna kick it square between the legs.
Holy shit balls!
It's a humiliating kick in the crotch.
I get it. It's an enormous song. I remember it well coming out. It never grabbed me. It never appealed to me. Dave Navarro sounds fantastic.
Yeah, this is true.
Flea's great, but does not sound fantastic in my opinion.
Puking notes all over the proceedings.
That's playing some Paganini, I think, underneath.
Dropping his oboe tones all over the proceedings.
As you guys were naming the songs that were off this album, yeah, they were huge. And I just remember it was like one after another. I'm like, yeah, didn't like that one. Didn't like that one.
There's for you.
She wasn't for me. There's a powerful voice. Fantastic.
Sure, yeah.
A tendency to go overboard with the yodeling at the end of each line.
Yeah.
That always was a thing that turned me off. It just did, and I don't know.
All right.
And I will not dispute any of the stuff Chris said, because it was seismic, I believe was the word he used.
Yes.
It absolutely was a seismic album. But
it's not for you.
I never it never appealed to me, any of the songs that I think Head Over Feet, I think I would be most likely to be a fan of all of those.
That's the worst one.
But see, there you go. And I'm not saying I am, but I'm just saying, like, that one maybe. It wasn't my thing. Still isn't.
Well, my favorite song of hers came on the next album, I believe, Hands Clean. That's a great song.
Was that a single?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think it was the first single off that album.
I might know it if I heard it.
That's a great song. Legit great song.
Plus, Loudness had a song called "You Oughta Know." So the fact that they're ripping off Loudness. No, I'm just making a joke.
I was gonna say. Okay.
I was just harkening back to the Crazy Nights episode.
Yeah, that's the reason you can't be a
fan. I just wasn't into it. I get it. Huge. But
you're just jealous of Dave Coulier. That's what's coming out here.
His wit and his performance style. Yes.
Exactly, and his mullet and his Red Wings jersey.
Actually, stuff I've seen of him, he seems like just down to earth good guy. Like you get that genuinely, I think.
I'm getting some differing opinions in our live chat about Dave Coulier as a person, but I won't reveal that.
Because aside from this song, I've never heard any hint of scandal or anything like that. But
it's all scandal here.
But what do I know?
Him and Saget, man. It's not what they presented themselves to be on Full House. Imagine that.
Just like in interviews and like discussions I've heard, it's just kind of like, oh, it seems like a down to earth, kind of like a Alan Thicke kind of a thing. Just like this Canadian guy who loves to play hockey and seems like a normal guy, even though
he's
his
this dick sucked in a movie theater.
I mean, yeah, okay. Who among us?
Well, yeah, exactly. But I mean, I don't know. He just seems a little too dorky for that. But we talked about it before. It's the Plain Janes who are rolling thunder in the sack.
All right, well, I don't want to tell you everything that's being said in here, but I'll read 2 words of all the stuff about someone who had a lot of personal interactions with Dave Coulier.
Really?
Complete asshole.
Okay.
All right.
So, hey.
Wow.
Absolute witch is another one.
Yeah, that's...
Hey, if he had personal interactions...
Yep.
Okay. Well,
complete asshole.
I mean, I guess it's the oldest stereotype in the book. He seems like such a good guy.
Oh.
Like the Kennedys, they seem like such a.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing bad going. It's perfect.
They're the worst.
And then there's all kinds of stuff going on. So, who knows? You never know.
Well, I guess I still vote, even though Nick ruined all the fun.
Of course you do.
Why is this the one time where we're lamenting that that the third vote happens?
I don't even need to now. All the fun's sucked out of the room. I'm giving it a sweet surrender.
It's sweet surrender. Hell yes.
There were suggestions of what the variation would be for the rock and roll boner if it were to get to that level.
Oh, boy.
With a female vocalist, what would it be? Could be rock and roll vulva. The possibilities were endless, but we'll never find out.
Well, they were limited to like 5 or 6. They weren't
endless.
They weren't endless.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. There's her vocal on this song is incredible.
It's
you have to acknowledge
incredible
Yes.
that she's able to do this,
And especially
this a kid basically. He's 21 years old. I mean, you're barely an adult at that point, and she's got that powerful of a voice, and
the conviction,
the performance, the fact that she wrote this, everything. I don't know, 10 out of 10 for her contributions to it from me.
Yeah,
drumming is great. I mean, it's very hot in the mix, but it's very powerful driving the song with you guys. I didn't know Flea played on it, and I never even noticed all those high register notes before because I never listened to it in this fashion, but I feel like it's distracting in this song.
It is.
There could be time and place for it, but it's constant.
And ultimately they signed off on it, so I guess they wanted Flea to do Flea things.
Yeah, yeah, that was a decision that somebody with money made.
Yeah,
but
inappropriate though.
Yeah. I mean, Navarro's
not that it deterred the success of the song, but listening to it this closely and this intently, it's inappropriate what was going on here.
Is that why you shot it down?
Well, I didn't. I had made it clear a couple of times. I'm
just giving you an out, Nick.
I don't care for what the bass is doing at all.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, Navarro killed it though.
Yeah. Well, Navarro always does. He's a tasteful player.
He's a tasteful player who can do anything.
Yeah.
He is very underrated. One of my absolute favorite guitar players.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, his whole approach to everything is like, I can't find fault in anything he's ever done.
Well, if you disagree with us, we're sorry.
That's just the fucking way it is.
Like, how could you?
Having my babe.
How could you do that to us, Nick?
I did nothing to nobody.
We were having such a good time, everyone.
Eat your treat.
Yeah, I ate it already.
Good. How was it?
It was delightful.
Oh, yeah, it's great. It was excellent.
It's very good. Very, very good. And you know what else is good, Nick?
Commercials?
Well, commercials are good, but you know what I like? I like when we get emails from listeners. And they say nice things about us.
They won't anymore.
They don't do that?
Week. No, after this week,
after
they
this
won't.
Week. They're gonna be mad.
This is the end.
This is the end of the line, huh? As far as it goes.
The last stop.
Oh, man. Well, we had a good run. If I could find this thing. I'm buying so much time. There's so many.
I don't know how many more cliches we have.
So many emails.
Are there a lot?
So many.
Yeah?
So much.
A female? Can you throw a female on there just to...
No. Can't do that.
Okay.
Not right now. Well, what I was going to say, I'm not doing that part of the show at this moment. I was going to say, it's nice to hear some compliments from listeners of ours. You guys like that, right? You like that
do we
shit? Have
another sound clip?
Yes, we do. This one comes from David Troutman.
5 strikes 10, must be Monday night. A decade of stupidity, but that's alright. Listen to Pound of Thunder tonight. Leave us a voice message tonight.
I think I can speak on behalf of all of Pot Nation when I say that the reason why we love Pot of Thunder is not because you give us an hour or two of great entertainment per week, but it gives us a chance to sit down on the couch with 3 great friends we've made over the last 10 years. David Troutman calling in to wish Pot of Thunder congratulations on 500 episodes. Some of my favorite moments over the years have been the Double Platinum Club, Caribbean Cove reviews, Pope stuff, just to name a few. Oh, and all the original music that you guys make. So to America's Little Brother, Gnarly Nick, and the mysterious Chris L., congrats on 500 episodes, and I hope you do another 500. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
How sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you, David.
Yeah,
very
nice. That's a compliment I've heard somewhat frequently about how, us talking amongst ourselves is like the listeners talking with their friends about music, and
you poor listeners. This is what your friends are like.
You're living vicariously.
No, that's cool.
No, yeah, that is, and I've heard a couple people say that too. That it's letting off steam with their buddies, kind of a thing.
But it speaks to the genuineness that I think we bring to each episode. Like we've talked about before, we don't edit the shit out of our episodes. We don't prepare in advance. I mean,
don't edit shit.
If we'd have known this song was going to come up, we probably would have had Jackie on the line to get a female's perspective of it. We don't know what's going to come up from one week to the next. The spontaneity is a big part of it. So yeah, huge compliment. Really like to hear that. So
thank you, David.
Appreciate it.
Another memory just got jostled loose. I had a friend who told me that he had a similar experience in a movie theater, and it was during Autumn in New York, which is like a cancer movie.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, isn't that like
what's wrong with these people?
Isn't that like Winona Ryder has cancer in it? Or
yeah, I think so. So I guess when the moment strikes, it doesn't matter what's like happening on the screen.
That Seinfeld episode where he's making out with a girl during Schindler's List.
Right.
Yeah. that whole vibe.
Yep. So perverts. Nick, let's take a commercial. What do you think?
Good.
I don't get yards of questions, motherfucker. I give them.
Sing away.
Yes, Chief.
How about it?
Yeah. Talk about a line delivered with some conviction. Montezuma Monroe line there about the Strokes.
Oh, that's...
What an actor old James Brown was.
And what he says leading up to it, my goodness.
Oh, yeah. That whole seed is...
That is one angry man.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
As they say in the, I think it was the 10 to Midnight trailer.
Yep, he's an angry man.
Dude, they say it about Bronson?
Yeah.
One angry man.
You know the 10 to Midnight trailer where they show the fucking ending during it?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
They show the gunshot.
They show the ending.
That's confidence right there.
Wow. Interesting.
Naked guy running down the street.
Yeah.
They show his wiener in the movie?
No wiener, just his butt.
I don't know why that's funny. Okay. I'm gonna pick a Yardo questions here. I want to pick the one that feels right today.
That's what you should do.
Yeah. Well, you know what? This is good because this has two themes that are woven through this that would fit with today's episode. So let's do that. So this week's Yardo questions comes to us from Colleen Houston, who we mentioned earlier. What up, Colleen?
Whose idea was to do the Moni send up? So yeah.
Wait a minute, where did it go?
What the hell did you do? Delete it?
No, there's. Hold on.
Did Colleen redact the message or?
No, I want you to look at this. There's another one from her, so I'll pick it. But the one I clicked, it looked like she sent a couple. It's not from her. So it says her name, right? At the top. But then look at what the name is when you look in the body.
Is she asking for a friend at this point? What's going on?
We don't have to take his shit!
How is he hacking our email where it says it's from Colleen Houston, but it's really from Bob Caruso?
What kind of weirdness is that?
Who can say?
I don't know.
I don't like the looks of that.
Yeah. Okay, there's another one from Colleen.
That's weird.
Yeah, right?
Glitchy.
Yeah. All right. This week's Yardo Questions still comes to us from Colleen Houston. Doesn't have that second theme, so disregard that. There was a Canadian theme in that Yardo Questions.
Yeah, we don't need that either. Although that would have fit in with the Morisette.
That's what I was thinking, but okay. Colleen says, "Hey guys, love the show. Y'all are hilarious. All the compliments, etc. Here's a Yardo Questions to ponder. Question 1. Where do you draw the line between a band being inspired/influenced by another band versus being derivative/copying a band?"
Very good question. Well, for starters, discussion we've had several times over the years, but I'll just kind of quickly rehash it. You've got bands like Airborne, who undeniably are influenced by AC/DC and the Australian pub rock scene of the 70s.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me. I've heard... Now, then I'll shift to another contemporary band, one that I'm not that familiar with. I'll ask you guys what you think. Whenever you hear Greta Van Fleet, you hear, Zeppelin. They're a Zeppelin derivative. I don't know enough of them to really comment on that, but it seems like people do get hung up on that.
I don't know enough of their stuff.
Chris, do you know enough of their stuff?
They're not that good to me, so I don't pay attention.
Okay, so I guess there are instances where it bothers people. I've never heard anybody say anything negative about Airborne. Like that. Maybe they've just kind of paid their dues and proved it to everybody at this point that they're genuine with it. I don't know, but I guess I don't have a problem with it. And right now, there's so much stuff. It's not. It's kind of under the radar stuff in a lot of cases. But there's so much stuff coming out from original artists where they are unapologetically like, we're gonna sound like a new wave of British heavy metal band, and we want it to sound like, production wise, we're gonna do everything like it's from that era.
Yeah.
And you've got like 80s electronic pop stuff that sounds legitimately like it was produced back then, and it's brand new. I think that's great. Like, I have no issue with somebody if it sounds like another band who is kind of like a genre-defining band. I don't really care. Like, I just kind of... I don't see why, if somebody hit upon something, why there can't be something similar. I could see where people would say, it's a ripoff, but I don't have a problem with it. If it sounds good to me, I'm fine with it.
Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that Airborne are like tough guys and Greta Van Fleet are like cute little fellows. So maybe
I have no idea because I never got into them, so I don't know what I can't comment on the Greta Van Fleet thing. I've just heard a lot of people say that.
I was just gonna say the fact that people are like, oh, they're a bunch of wieners or whatever, but it's like because like maybe whether or not you like them, you might be like predisposed, or how should I say this? You might be predisposed to judge them by how they look because they're as popular and as young as they are, and you're like, well, that's bullshit because I'm X amount of years old and nothing good happened for me. So why are you able to be?
You bring up another one, exactly the same thing that you're describing. Your Silverchair. At the time, I didn't think they sounded like Nirvana, but there are people. Oh man, they're ripping off Nirvana because Kurt Cobain's gone, and they're trying to run with it. I never thought so, but you heard a lot of people say that.
I'll just touch on Greta Van Fleet really quickly. Talk about a band that's got heavy weights behind them. That band just didn't spring onto the massive scale that they did just out of nowhere. Somebody was pulling the strings behind the scenes, and I saw their SNL performance. I'm just like, these guys are not that good. They're not fully developed yet, and I'm just not really interested in hearing their development, to be honest with you. They just don't do anything for me. They don't cut it for me. They're not that good. At the end of the day, keeping with themes we talked about throughout this episode, if there's some genuine conviction and talent there, I don't care what your influences are, and I don't care what you sound like. It's gonna resonate with me on some level, and it's, that goes back to the human element. There's got to be some humanity to it. There's got to be some sense that they're buying into what they're delivering, that it's not contrived or preconceived or whatever. And there's got to be some discernible talent there.
Also, they have to wear shoes on stage for me to respect them.
Yeah.
Greta Van Fleet, I saw one video, barefoot, hippie-looking guy. I turned it off immediately.
Well, now there's a Henry Rollins influence.
That's the one thing about Henry Rollins that I don't like.
You don't like the barefoot thing?
I don't like it. I don't like barefoot people on stage. Whenever you see a band with a barefoot person, it bothers me.
I'm not a fan of it either. Well, and the shorts on stage thing.
Yeah.
I'm with you there, but yeah, Greta Van Fleet just doesn't cut it for me. They're pushed down people's throats, and they're just not that good.
Yeah,
they're not good.
Rollins,
it's that simple.
I was gonna say Rollins claims the reason he did it was because when they were in Black Flag, he was so poor that his shoes and pants would get so covered in sweat that he didn't have extras, so he'd have to wash them in the sink. So he would just put on a pair of athletic shorts. And he didn't want to ruin his shoes and socks because they had no showers. But he continued doing that for the rest of his career.
That's why Joe Jackson used to run the bases with no shoes on. Same reason.
He didn't want to get sweaty.
No.
Yeah. He had to wear his cleats home. So he didn't want to ruin them. Question 2. We've heard Chris L. wax poetic about his Whitesnake umbrella, and that got me thinking. What is a piece of band merch you would love to see and buy regardless of price? Can be any band and any item, trinket / piece of clothing, etc. Now you have to use your imaginations on this one.
Well, I was going to say, I see a couple Funko Pop figures up there.
Yeah.
There's pretty much no stone left unturned at this point for Funko Pop figures.
No kidding.
They really get... And so in this day and age, this is a harder question to answer.
Yeah. You ever go into a store? Well, I don't know. I kind of slowed down significantly on collecting those, but I would go somewhere and be like, son of a bitch. There'd be 3 of them that I'd be like, I have to get these. I have to get the Steve Buscemi from Billy Madison with the lipstick on. Can't walk past that and not buy it.
Yeah, they really, and then what is it that, oh man, I can't think of it. I bought you the, was it the Vic Rattlehead figure?
That
Super 7,
Super 7.
I think is the brand name.
Yep.
That's another one where it's those are fantasy items that someone's making, if you're a metal fan or horror movie or whatever kind of fan,
like King Diamond, Iron Maiden,
they look like toys from like the 70s.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, these are fantasy items. They're really just kind of.
They make ghost toys for Nick.
Yeah, they do.
But yeah, you're right.
Ooh, I don't know. This is a good one.
You can't top the White Snake umbrella. It just stood out on the merch table. I'm like, I don't care how much that costs. I have to have that.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything that could possibly top that. The combination of item and band, it's just never going to be eclipsed for me.
Yeah.
I honestly can't think of anything. I can't imagine anything being better than that.
Well, here's the question. Other than a t-shirt, what's something of band merch that you would buy, like, in display or whatever? Like, would you do band hats at this point still?
I would do a hat, but it would, yeah, I don't know if I'd be that prone to a band one. It'd have to be a pretty great looking
That's what I mean.
hat.
It has to be band, right? Tapestry? You're not getting one of those,
I'm
probably.
not getting a tapestry.
Like, what are the items that people sell that actually?
I mean,
that you would actually go
I've
with?
got the Barry Manilow throw blanket.
Oh.
Another blanket. Whoever said I have too many blankets? Yeah, some kind of ridiculous blanket would be fine. Let's see. Who am I into that's still current? I don't even know. I think every band I like is no longer around.
Oh, yeah, they don't have to be current though.
Okay.
Someone could just put it out.
How about a nice Captain Beyond throw blanket?
There you go.
Really colorful with the Captain Beyond mascot doing something in space.
Perfect.
That would be nice.
All right, and question 3. And to shake things up with a non-music related question.
Uh-oh.
What is the weirdest pet peeve you have? You guys think about that. Colleen says, thanks for all the laughs and introducing me to new music. Regardless of how good or bad it is, it brightens my day. Much love all the way from Tennessee, Colleen. Thank you, Colleen. That's very sweet. Thank you.
Thank you for the Moni Moni idea. That song's unbelievable. Even when you're recording your own version, you're just like, man, what a song this is. Then you stumble upon the California Raisins version, and you just
have you heard the original version?
Oh, yeah.
Tommy James and the Shondells? Yeah.
California Raisins did it?
Of course.
Why was that a thing? Who was the ad wizard who came up with, well, let's make a cartoon out of the California Raisins?
Well, let's see.
They put out albums and
they had specials and commercials, which
toys.
I remember
parties.
I remember reading that Michael Jackson was a consultant for their dance move, like animation. That he would actually watch it and give notes and things like that.
So how much money did these California Raisins have?
A lot, if that's what was going on. In the 80s, they had Michael Jackson's attention.
Yeah. Wow.
What started out as the House of Prunes ended up as the House of Porn.
Okay. Wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Dark times.
Dark purple times.
Yes. Dark, shriveled up times, those were.
I think I know my pet peeve.
What is it with the weirdest pet peeve you have?
I guess mine's kind of weird because it seems mostly harmless, but I get flack for it whenever I bring it up. Chris probably knows already what I'm going to say. I just posted a thing about it earlier this week.
You did?
The people driving golf carts around the neighborhoods. I'm not a fan at all.
You hate it.
It bothers me a lot. A lot about it bothers me, and I realize that aside from the one part is valid, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
But aside from that, it's more just it's less rational. and I realize this.
Well, what is it?
It's let's drive around the neighborhood and stare at everybody that's outside like they're gonna be super excited to see us come by like we're a parade. That bothers me.
So it's yours
because it inevitably happens when someone's riding a golf cart, and there's 50 people on the golf cart.
They drive by and go,
what do you think, huh?
Honk at you.
And so aside from
they throw Tootsie Rolls at
they
you.
should if they want someone to be genuinely excited about this. You know, you're out there like reeling the hose in, and then someone's driving by and they're staring at you.
Yeah, reeling the hose.
Just, you know, something where you're just minding your own business outside. Yeah. And then this comes by, and it's like, I'm not going to care about this.
Yeah. So you're more mad. You're not mad that they're not following the rules.
Well, I am mad
the
about
road.
that.
Okay.
That's where it initially comes from.
Because, like, let's say someone...
then it parlays into all these other things.
As I say, let's say someone's zipping by on, like, a four-wheeler, but they're not looking at you, which would not be, like, road legal.
Yeah.
Would that make you mad, too?
Probably.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's still bothering me.
But it doesn't have the air of leisure to it that the golf cart has.
I guess
which
not.
Bothers you more so.
Which, yeah, I mean, it is appropriate in some areas, but not all.
Yeah, golf course would be the area.
That's what they're made for, yes.
Yeah. So, maybe a resort.
So I would say that's my...
Well, they're not street legal by where you live, are they?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, why doesn't this get shut down would be my question.
Don't know. It's...
Why? I don't even understand the reason to own one.
I mean,
unless you lived somewhere, like they don't have access to anything.
It's a toy.
It's a toy, but like it's not like, oh, we're gonna go over to the golf course. We're gonna drive it there because it's 3 blocks away.
No,
There's nothing.
I think it's
but more houses.
I get the feeling it's let's go around the block a few times.
Yeah, that's it.
It's pure. It's a toy.
Yeah, or maybe you can drive it when you're drunk. Is that part of it?
No.
Well, but I mean,
don't think
like
that's gonna work.
Because didn't
Dave Grohl get arrested for driving a Vespa scooter drunk one time?
Did he?
Yeah, I don't think there's any way out of that.
You can get a DUI riding a bike drunk.
That's true. I was just gonna say I'm not really I'm halfway serious because I feel like part of that culture is like where the men in the neighborhood go garage to garage and drink beer.
Right.
And, you know, they might drive their golf cart to their buddy's kegerator in the garage and whatever.
But, like, I can understand it maybe in a gated subdivision, but that's not where he lives. He lives in a regular neighborhood. That shouldn't be street legal. Call the cops on him the next time it happens.
I'll wave him over.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It's horseshit.
Citizen's arrest.
have to go Gomer Pyle on him.
Yeah.
Citizen's arrest.
Do it.
You should just keep things like like water balloons or something to just throw at them when they go by.
Yeah, they're not going to abandon their golf cart.
No.
They're not going to get out and approach somebody.
Projectiles. Or like a super soaker or something.
Or just
irritate
or
them.
just ram them with your proper vehicle and teach them a lesson.
Or just if the sprinkler's on, you can do a little whoops.
Yeah.
No, that... So I'm not saying it's invalid for me to have this pet peeve, but it goes into places where I think it's maybe not.
I think it's totally valid. It's bullshit.
Because then it goes to me projecting things onto them like, what do they think they're in a parade? Get out of here.
Yeah.
You know, so it could get a little bit out there.
But
I feel passionately about it.
It's all valid in my opinion. I agree with you on that.
Chris?
Something that's springing to mind, and I don't know how weird it is, but I just can't relate to it at all. It's like, so the Vegas Golden Knights just won the Stanley Cup, right?
Yeah.
I got a friend of mine who's originally from New York, but he lives in Vegas now. He's all into the Vegas Golden Knights. The Denver Nuggets just won the NBA title, right?
Yep.
I've got someone who I went to college with. She's from Michigan, but lives in Denver now. Is all rooting and, supporting the Nuggets. I just can't relate to that. Like, it would be like me rooting for Chicago teams and being happy when they win the title. It just is such a foreign concept to me.
Yeah.
Then when I see this from other people, I'm just like, who are you? What? How does this happen? I can't relate to that at all. Like my wife's cousin, he's not from fucking Boston, but he was a Patriots fan for the entirety of the Brady run, 20 years. Now he probably doesn't give a shit about him, but it's just like, okay, all right, front runner, everybody likes a winner, I get that, but just to be like happy for a team that is not from where you were originally from or who you grew up rooting for, I don't get it.
I've heard of a lot of people express things like that, so I'd say that's shared by a lot of people. That bothers
I think there's more people who don't give a shit about it, and if they move to another city and that team wins in the city they're living in, they're a fan.
I think people are just looking for what's happening.
Yeah.
If something's happening nearby, then it's like, all right, fine.
Party time.
Yeah, no, I get it, but in the context of a sports team, I just absolutely cannot relate to that at all. It's completely foreign. That's among the reasons why I don't play fantasy sports. It's like I gotta want somebody who's not on my favorite team to be successful this week. Fuck that.
Even against your team.
Even against them, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that. No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No way.
Well, we did it. We made it to the end. Thank you, Colleen, for your Yardo questions. Thank you, Jackie, for your song submission. Thank you to our patrons who are joining us either live right now or who will be watching this in the next day or two on demand. Very much appreciated. And thank you to everybody listening. I forgot about everybody else. Thank you to the other 99% of you.
Thank you to the proletariat.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you. How could I be so forgetful? Alrighty, well, we will be back next week with more Pot of Thunder.
And I think I'm going weak.
Or at least trying to.
I didn't mean it.
Insensitive.
I'm sorry.